It's black and white. Yeah. Black and white. Oh. 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 It's black and white.
Hello there, my name is Lee, welcome back to another video, and welcome to Timetable Reviews. Now this is the last episode in the mini-series from the Rickmansworth bus running day. Now it's been a blast, and without further ado, let's just go to the table and let's see what we've got today. So here's the table, and here's the timetable. So this is the November 2012 North Buckinghamshire guide. So obviously I mentioned in the last episode at the end that this will have been the North Buckinghamshire guide, and the things among you have noticed that the image is the exact same from a previous guide a couple of years beforehand, but it's the same old again. Started with the SR1 again, saying they still ran it at the time, but they had cut back the evening service. That was an outcry from Arriva days. Then Blue Route 2 still existed. What I'm going to do in this episode is I'm only going to show you routes that had changed, really. And then the Orange Route 3, Green Route 4, which was going all the way to Stepmadam Hospital at the time. That only lasted a year, because a year later, in 2013, this route actually would go to Red Line and were rerouted, so it didn't go to Stepmadam Hospital. It went to Berryfields instead, which it still does to this day. Then the 5, as you can see, as I said in the previous episode, black denotes Monday to Friday services, red for Saturdays, yellow for orange for Sunday services. And in this guide, there's also a different colour in the form of green. Then purple Route 7, which in the previous episode, I'm pretty sure we only went to Lavin Road because Buckingham Park didn't exist. This route was extended to Buckingham Park by then. However, this will also be its last year of operation, as a year later, in 2013, in the massive doing exercise, this route will become split. The Buckingham Park section was covered by the SR1, whilst Lavin Road was covered by Route 11, run by Star Travel at the time, later Red Line. Then the Red Route 9, again, this was still going to Beckworth, but a year later, this became the Pink Route 8. Then Route 16, still run by Revo at the time. A couple of years later, this will become a Red Rose route. And then Route 18. Now, in 2012, this was run by Langston and Tusker. Yay! A company we're going to mention quite a bit today. 2 hourly services with 2 trips a day to Aylesbury. Then shorter services still run the 30 service. This green colour denotes that it was a special service that only ran a couple of times a week. Then the 32, previously run by Jeff's coaches, of course, now run by Arriva, as Jeff's coaches had ceased by then. With a alternating service, so that it ran every 2 hours to Newton Lonville, or every hour, or every 2 hours from Bletchley, with one, with it going a different way. So from Bletchley, it will go to the hospital. If not, it will go to Bletchley, then past the hospital a different way, and then to Buckingham that way. Then the 37 run by Hayfordian at the time, twice a week. Then the 50 run by Langston with, yeah, I know. Then the 50 service, which on a Saturday, there was a weird situation where the first bus on a Saturday at 7:20 was actually from Ivanhoe. Not sure why, but as you can see, on a Saturday, on Monday to Friday, the last trip at 18:15 used to go all the way to Ivanhoe. Not sure why. Then the 54 A, B and C still run by Winslow District Community Bus, of course, and it still does to this day. 55 still existed, of course, will last until quite recently. Then the 60, 2 years later, this will become a 2 hourly service with the launch of the X60. I must add, at the time, Red Line ran the 50 Sunday service as well as the 60 Sunday service. Red Line also ran a couple of trips during the week on the 60 as well. Then the 61, which will still go to Luton Airport, with the last trip at 1940 going via Bedgrove for some reason, and also via Berry Park. And the second to last one, the 1555, also went via St Anne's, which was on Route 13 at the time. It's a weird service. Then the two Winslow routes, of course, which I won't mention. Then the 70, which was an hourly service back then. Obviously, the guided busway was still a couple of years away. There were 100, 150. This will be the last time we'll see the 100 because, of course, a year later, this will actually get withdrawn due to funding cuts by Buckinghamshire County Council. Then the 110, previous to the 261, of course, no longer run. 110 still exists, it's run by Redline though. Then the 111, 112, 113, still runs. Then the 118. Now the 118 was interesting. It was a it ran on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. By Hayfordian. That ran from Oxford to Brill, but once a day it always went to Bicester. That was always. Then the 131, 132 run by Redline at the time to Brackley, still does exist. It's now the B1, B2 run by Red Rose. 133, 134, the two market buses now run by Langston. Speaking of Langston, they launched the 135. This will only last a year, and these ran really interestingly because it was split into 5 routes: the A, B, C, D, and E. The A was Hoshall, Claders, Padbury. The B was Ward, Stratford, Bolton, Hosford, Chepstow, Posset. The C was Thornton, Beckerton, Nash, Wandham, and Thornborough. The D was Calvert Green, Chalfont, Marsh, Gibbon, Pondon, Twyford, and Hillston. And the E was Shalston, Biddleston, Dadford, Cuckmore, Lewiston, Livingstone, and Ackley. All the village services that Langston had run by then had been withdrawn. So this was just an outcry. These only ran on a Saturday, and they only lasted a year, unfortunately. Then the 151 run by Redline by the time, and the 153, 154. By then, the 153 had been cut back, so it only went to Aston Abbots by then, but it's now since been extended all the way to Stokely. By then, it had been also run by St Ness, not Redline. Then the 162 still existed, run by Red Kite, and the 164, now the 62 run by Red Eagle. 165 run by St Ness again, which I won't mention because obviously it still exists. 167 to Ivanhoe run by Red Kite on a Tuesday, and the 175, which was Ellsworth to Hempstead on a Thursday, run by Redline. Then the 280, which was heavy 20 minutes by then because the viruses had launched by then. And then we got the 300 again, which I won't mention because of course we'll be here all day otherwise. 321 still existed, as you can see it was weird as it was. Then the 500, which was a half-hourly service all the way to Watford by then. And the Sunday service run by Red Rose. And then the Stagecoach X5 for Bedford and Cambridge from Oxford, which was half-hourly at the time. And then, weirdly, they put the public transport map first, then the maps of Aylesbury and Buckingham. And there's the map of the operation. But yeah, that's the November 2012 guide. I really hope you enjoyed this episode of Timetable Reviews, and I really hope you enjoyed this series, as this is the last of the Rickmansworth series. The next couple of weeks will be just basic timetables. Instead, it's just basic timetables. There is going to be a special episode though, the last one, showcasing timetables from Carousel, as this year, 2025, marks 25 years of Carousel buses of High Wycombe. So stay tuned for that. It won't be the next episode, will be a few episodes away. But just a warning. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video I make. Goodbye.